All right, so I am going to start 75 hard from tomorrow, which is November 21st of 2024. And this is my episode sort of declaring that. All right, so first of all, what is 75 hard and why am I starting it? Well, this by the way is my podcast. If you're new to this thing, welcome. I do this thing every week where I just talk in front of the camera, which I really, really like. Oh, and you put the screen away so that I don't see myself when I'm talking. So, I am doing 75 hard. What is that? It's a mental toughness challenge invented by this guy named Andy Frisella. He is he runs a podcast, and beyond a podcast, he's a supplement company person. He's a big business dude. Something. It's a very popular challenge. Most people are familiar with it on TikTok, and I have a pretty big history with this challenge. And so, first of all, what is this 75 hard challenge, right? What is the thing that you're talking about? Well, the challenge is about doing 6 things every day for 75 days without fail. And if you fail to one of those things, you start over again. What are those 6 things? First, you work out twice a day, and one of those workouts should be outside, and those 2 workouts must be 45 minutes in length. 2, you take a progress picture of yourself every day. 3, you have a diet that you can stick with, meaning you declare a diet and you stick with that diet. No cheat meals or alcohol is allowed. And 4, which is you read 10 pages of a self-improvement book every day for 75 days. It can be non-fiction, it can be fiction, right? I mean, I sort of disagree with that, but anyways, but I agree with it for the most part. The next one is, I told the diet, I have to drink a gallon of water every single day. That is 3.7 liters for people who are living outside of the United States. 3.7 liters of water. And what am I missing? So it's like 2 workouts, diet, reading, gallon of water, and what do you say? Take a progress picture, and then I don't think I missed anything, right? Let me check just a sec. Oh yeah, so that is it. By the way, some other rules of the challenge is this. 1, you don't alter this. If you alter this, it's not 75 hard. People alter this all the time. I understand why they do it, but but the rules of the program are you don't alter this thing. And 2 is if you miss your day thing, man, you got to restart. It's as simple as that. Now, why do you want to do this challenge? Why does anyone want to do this challenge? First, it's extremely hard and inconvenient. That is the whole point of this challenge. I think that is a core fundamental reason why I'm doing this challenge. It's extremely inconvenient. It's somewhat hard. Actually, it's not that hard. If you really get into the rhythm of things, it's not that hard, to be honest. But it's very inconvenient if, at most times, and you don't want to do things. There are people who often say that, you might want to sort of take this thing a bit more easier, give yourself a break here and there. That is a different kind of thing. But the whole point of this challenge is that you don't stop doing things just because you don't feel like it. And you want to get over that mental hurdle of not wanting to do something and doing something just because you planned to do it, and to not give in to your feelings. Sometimes it's very good to give in to your feelings, but the thing is, most of our feelings, I feel, is just crap. Crap in the sense, doesn't make any sense. You don't know. It's pointless. Anyways, I'm doing this challenge. Why the heck am I doing this? Why Kesh, this boy right here, doing this? First of all, I'm not in a very good place. That's a very wrong way to put things. I'm not in a very disciplined place at this point in my life. There were some major life changes for me recently, right? About getting married, moving into a new house, and getting used to a new routine. It's just been hard in general. I'm just making this harder on myself, even though. So things have changed. Things have things are new, and I don't feel like I'm doing the things that I want to do. But beyond that, I was just looking at some of my goals that I set for myself for the last year. And it seems like I haven't achieved most of them. And then I went in and looked at the reviews, the yearly reviews that I do for the previous years, 2023 and 2022. It's all the same problems. I'm just tackling the same problems over and over and over and over and over again. I'm fighting the same battles. Insanity is doing the same things, expecting different results, right? Is what Einstein said. I think I'm slowly starting to be the poster boy for that. I don't want that. I don't want to be doing the same things over and over again, and expecting different things. And it made me a bit sad, actually. I was just looking at some of the things. I have grown, I have changed things, but the past 2 years or 2 or 3 years, 2 years, I think 3 years, I've just been thinking. And not moving. And I was not the person, or I am not the person that I once was, or that got me here to where I am, being able to run my own business, being able to do art, and providing for my family, of like big family right now. It's a bigger family right now. So, it's I'm not the person who got me here. And of course, change is normal in your life. But at this point, I just feel like, or I just don't feel, I just know for sure that there are so many habits of mine that I'm currently doing, which is not productive for me. I'm really addicted, actually, to a couple of things. One is television, or YouTube, to be very specifically. So I had this data actually on my phone that I was watching like 35 hours of YouTube in a given week. 35 hours in a given week. And I did the math. If you watch 35 hours on YouTube in a given week, that is approximately 2 months out of the entire year. Out of the entire year, that's 2 months of you just watching screens. And I was like, man, oh boy, something has to change. And I tried a lot of these little things, right? I tried to sort of take up, let me take up something small, tiny, let me do that thing for a while. But the thing is, it seems like I have the unresourceful parts of myself is sort of holding me so hard and pulling me so hard, so back, that I need some great amount of momentum out in the front in order to sort of rip those things that is pulling me back, right? And for that, I need to start doing things that are drastic. I tried tiny changes for a while right now. I don't think it's working for me. And I have actually tried 75 hard multiple times. Multiple, as in I say multiple. And that's the thing about that challenge. You don't try. You commit and you do. And there is never a good time for you to actually do that challenge. And that's one of the things I used to do, is like, let me find the right time to do this thing. Yeah, the timing is never good. And I thought, okay, now is not the good time. I just got married. I just moved into a new place, and then there are many new stressors. I don't want to do everything. But the thing is, I want to do it when it's extremely inconvenient. I want to come out next year, at the start of the next year, with a bang on momentum. That's why I'm not waiting till like Jan 1st to start this particular thing. I want to start it tomorrow. I've actually started it today. I'm doing all the habits right now today, but I want to start it from tomorrow, since when this podcast goes live, so that I know what I'm doing. I'm just simply recording and documenting what is happening right here. So I'm really having big troubles with screens, YouTube right now. I cannot stop watching. And it's hard, weirdly, right? And this is a part of myself that I generally don't share online. And then people think, Cash is like a super motivated guy, writing newsletters, making videos, making art, making lots of money, right? Oh man, right? But there are some caveats, right? Like you don't see a lot of things. I struggle with discipline. Doesn't mean that discipline is the primary thing, but lately I have found the virtue of discipline to be the most important thing that gives a bit of meaning to my life. right? I struggle with meaninglessness a lot, right? I often go through these things. It's like, what is the point of all this? Why do we even do all these things, right? And there has been a shift in my mindset lately since I've been reading, say, a couple of books and following a couple of people. That is sort of created a sense of not meaning. It's like this is the baseline. And one of those books is like Bhagavad Gita, for like the Gita. It's a popular Indian Hindu text scripture. It's a story basically of a dude named Arjuna. I'm not a dude. Okay, I don't want to get in trouble. So of a character named Arjuna, right? And he doesn't want to do things. He doesn't want to go to war and with his brothers or and he all of a sudden gets cold feet, and in the last moment he gets advice from Krishna, like, what should he do? I don't see a point in all of these things. I don't see a point in killing my brothers in order to gain power. And he asks Krishna, what is the meaning of life? What is the point of all this thing? And I've just started to read it again, and it's been extremely helpful. But one of the points that Krishna is coming to is you do the things because it's your duty, and you do things because that's your dharma or your code translated in. By the way, I am no expert. You're listening to a layman. There are far more intelligent, wiser people who have done great commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. I'm listening to those folks. One is the Vedanta Society of New York, and they have a Gita podcast scripture. It's very relatable. It's amazing how relatable that Gita is to modern life, and it's been extremely helpful. And and I've been sort of understanding the code of discipline and gaining the code of discipline, or starting with the idea of discipline, which is to do the things that needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. The most important thing that I need to train myself, and the way I train myself is to put myself through a regime or a routine or a challenge or a program, which is 75 hard, to actually train that particular muscle. I can't wait for motivation to come to hit me so that I can start changing things. I need to start moving things in the right direction in order to, make progress. And that's one of the things. I didn't feel motivated to start this challenge. I was like, I need to take steps. I can't. It feels crappy when you're watching that much television. And I am working, but I'm also doing this, and it doesn't feel good, right? And by the way, you can hear a bit of tremble in my voice. It's not because I'm crying. No, I have a lot of cold, and then it's becoming very hard for me to speak. So that is why I am doing 75 hard. And as part of this thing, I'm also continuing my 100 days of sketching. Damn, what was that? I heard some. So apparently there's a war going on near my, house, but someone's bursting crackers, by the way. I'm just kidding. So you're going to be hearing that thing a lot anyways. So I'll also be drawing every day and practicing my art, and I'm actually changing a lot of things in my life at this point in time, and taking new directions in many ways. And I'm trying to focus on things that matter, and for that to happen, I need to take steps. Okay, what is happening and what am I trying to do? I have been focusing a lot on content and making content and running my business more than actually making art. And that's one of the this is extremely distracting. That's unfortunately one of the things with this particular business, which is, I think it is stopped. Yeah, thank goodness. So this is unfortunately one of the things with this whole art business thing, which is the more you do it, the less time you get to make your art. And in that process, you need to start becoming more clever as to say how you can actually not lose the core thing that got you started in the first place. And I have talked about the problem of being a art YouTuber and multiple times in the past. and it's a problem that always comes up. It's always a season, but I think I want to find a permanent solution, and I'm on the verge of finding that, and I'm going to start applying that moving forward. So that means focusing less on content and focusing on more on art. So what am I focusing on? One, I really want to get even better at drawing, right? I'm not that good. I mean, good enough in my own standards, but I want to get better at drawing. That means practicing more. That is one, but I don't want to be in the practice trap, right? I don't want to just keep on practicing stuff. I also want to start making projects, or I am making projects in the moment. In the moment right now, it's like Spirited Tales, my comic collection, right? By the way, let me just quickly show right here. So this is the Spirited Collection thing mock-up that I have. So I want to finish this particular thing. That means I have like 50 to 60 page more comics that I have in this thing. And 3 is I want to start learning animation again, right? That means I want to try new things in the world of animation. I want to learn the fundamentals of animation. I want to eventually learn to animate my own films. And I'm really trying very hard to talk. It's like someone banging their door. It's like, oh, great. Let them finish and we'll continue talking. So I wanna get better at this craft of animation and storytelling. I wanna focus more on learning to tell stories. And those are all the things, right? That's too many things already. but I'm not gonna focus on all of them at the same time. Definitely not. I'm like looking at like one thing or one or two things in the given year, which I'll also talk about in this podcast, right? I'll talk about like my New Year goals. I'll talk about my quarterly goals and how am I going about it, and the progress that I'm making. So I'm going to record and document all these things through my podcast. So there's that. But eventually, the 75 Hard is leading into the thing that I'm starting Jan 2nd or Jan 1st. I haven't decided that just yet. That is going to be the biggest thing that I'm doing in terms of for my artistic and drawing evolution, right? It's very focused. It's lovely. It's amazing. I'll talk about it in the near thing, but it is not a challenge. It's a program, just like 75 Hard. But right here, that's the thing. This is why I'm doing 75 Hard. I am not satisfied with my own life, and I want to be less dissatisfied. That is a goal right there. So I'm going to be posting weekly updates here on this podcast, along with my other topics on the podcast, like week 2, 75 Hard, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6. Sharing all the things that I'm learning throughout throughout this challenge. And I want to do it this time, and I want to finish it this time. And that's the mindset that I'm going in with. I'm going to get it done. That's it. As simple as that. So, yeah. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.